This month's garden guide, we are learning how to grow tomatoes, peppers.
Correct.
Tony Kosowski, good to see you, brother.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Well.
why are we talking about tomatoes and peppers? Are those kind of the two crops that are best for us right now?
Well, right now we're getting into our spring season. The soil temps are warming up a bit, and obviously tomatoes and peppers are just really useful and delicious in the kitchen. A lot of times I see really planting techniques that are not really going to help you be successful. So we wanted to go over a few of these things here.
Okay.
One of the things is that when you see this kind of baby plant here and it's got these blooms on it, you might think that's really good.
Okay.
But actually we want the plant to be a little bit bigger to support a healthy crop of fruit. So what we're going to do is actually just pinch these off. Another thing I see a lot
Because what it's going to do, it's going to encourage it to bush out a little bit?
Correct.
Okay.
We're just going to build a stronger plant so that it can support the fruit a little better.
You don't want it spindly and skinny and tall.
Correct.
Okay.
You're like an expert now. I love it.
Hey,
Oh,
wow.
no, I just love to plant flowers and things. And you recommend this size for planting?
Right now, this is about good. I tend to stay away from the bigger ones just because a lot of times they're not using organic amendments. Another thing I really see people do here is kind of not plant these properly and just kind of put them in like that. Now, what we really want to do is get this, and we can break off these bottom branches here, which is just
Doing
fine.
a lot of pruning.
We are, and basically we can go much deeper here because as we plant that stem, it's actually going to grow roots out of it there. So this is going to, again, just make for a really nice, strong base. And then when our fruit comes, it's going to be really nice and supported. Another thing here is same thing with the peppers. We've got some habaneros here. And with these guys, you can see the buds are just starting to come off. So again, we're just going to pinch those off, let this pepper get nice and strong and big. And then later in the season here, we should get some nice blooms and then in turn peppers.
It's going to start warming up here a little bit, though, isn't it, Tony? Is it a good time to plant these types of plants?
Absolutely. The Maricopa Master Gardeners or County Extension Office actually says the middle of February to get these guys in the ground. You do want to do the plants. I brought some seeds here. Tomatoes and peppers actually take a little bit of time, more time than some other crops to propagate. So if you planted by seed right now, it's going to be a little difficult for them to survive the summer, but you could actually get a fall harvest for them too.
What is a bumper crop?
A bumper crop is like extra.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's a bumper have to do with it?
I don't know.
You put them on the bumper?
They
spill over out of your truck and land on the bumper?
Out of the pallet?
I'm
just
not
put them on a
sure.
bumper
We need to
then?
look up the
That is a
history of
really
that.
good question.
When would I have a pepper off of this? Right here. I planted this today. We take it outside.
Well, this is a tomato, so
I'm
it'd be
sorry.
a little
Is this the pepper?
difficult. Yeah, that's the pepper there.
So the answer here is never.
Never, correct.
Never, ever, ever.
I would say in these guys, probably about late April, May, we'd start to see some harvestable fruit, and into June, July. These guys will produce till about 95 degrees, they'll bloom. You know, another thing that I really recommend too is adding a little mulch, which I put over there.
So these are the amendments that...
This is some of the amendments, yeah. So I'm just gonna grab this here. This is a nice cedar mulch. I tend to stay away from the products that are dyed, and I'm making a mess all over your newsroom here. But this is gonna help lock in moisture, really protect it. Another thing too, as far as fertilizers go, we've actually got a grow and a bloom here, and these are just pretty basic fertilizers. The grow is gonna help with some, like you said earlier, the nitrogen, some leafy green growth, but then we've got a bloom fertilizer, which is going to help with the fruit production and also the flower set.
You don't worry about putting different fertilizers in if it's going to get into the fruit. I mean, this is all natural stuff that you can eat.
Correct. Yeah, these are natural products. I do always recommend organic amendments. You can see on there OMRI certified. Another thing you can do is actually use a rose fertilizer or a flowering fertilizer, as they are going to also help with the flower and fruit production. If you do have pests on here, one of the big ones is the tomato hornworms, and those are like the big Alice in Wonderland green worms.
They're juicy.
They are juicy. They're huge, and you can do that. You can actually just pick those off, so I really recommend to keep an eye.
What do you do with them?
I give them to my chickens.
Wow.
Yeah, so they...
Circle of life.
Hey, there you go.
It is. And then I take great eggs and eat those or give those away too. You know, other than that, tomatoes and peppers are a really, really great crop to be growing right now in Phoenix or other low desert. And, you know, we've almost got all the components of salsa here. So
You're very close
This
to
is
salsa. You need an
great.
onion.
absolutely,
That's right.
we could do an
Cilantro.
onion. Yes.
Yeah,
Tony,
Tony,
great
how
stuff.
do people get a hold of you?
You can find me on Instagram at Tony Grows Food.
Tony
Thank
Grows
you
Food.
so much.
He's
Thank you
blowing up
guys
on
for having me
IG.
back.
All right, Ron, we've got a lot